Hello students, welcome back. Our today's topic is on analogy, which is another kind of proper induction. We have so far come across scientific induction, unscientific induction. Now the third one is analogy. Now the definition says that analogy is that kind of inference which is based on particular facts, obviously based on particular facts, but of particular facts of similarity between two things. And it is inferred that since one of them, that is between the two events, when we come across the similarities between the two events, it is inferred that if since one of them is present, one of them has a further quality, the other also must have the same quality. Let us take one example for that. Suppose we have taken example of two planets. One is Earth and another is Mars. Now here, suppose we want to find out whether there is life in Mars or not. So we will observe some particular cases of similarities between Earth and Mars. What can be the particular observations? Suppose first premise will be both are planets, both move around the sun, both get light from the sun. In this way, after observing some points of similarity, which are point to be noted here, that which are necessary for our conclusion. After observing the points of similarity between the two, now after observing this, if we can observe that there is life in Earth, so if there is life in Earth and there are similarities between both, there is much similarities between both Earth and Mars. So if there is life in Earth, then we can infer that there may be life in Mars also. But the conclusion I have inferred just now may not be certain. But just based on similarities between the two events, I have come to the conclusion that if there is life in Earth, as there are lots of similarities between Earth and Mars, so if there is life in Earth, then there may be life in Mars also. Now with this definition, I can come to the characteristics of analogy. So if I analyze the definition, then I get three characteristics of analogy. One is that the first characteristics is that in analogy we do not come to a general conclusion, because from my example you can very well understand that this is not a general proposition. When I say if there is life in if there is life in Earth, and if there are similarities between Earth and Mars, lots of similarities between Earth and Mars, and if there is life in Earth, then there must be life in Mars. This is not a kind of general proposition. This is a kind of particular proposition. So the first characteristics of analogy is that here we pass from particular to particular. This is the first characteristics. The second characteristics is that, here in this point we can add one thing, that yes, there is also inductive leap, which is the very essence of induction. There is also inductive leap, which is the very essence of induction. It is there in analogy because we are not coming across all the similarities, but those similarities only which are important for our conclusion. So there is inductive leap. The second characteristic is that here our conclusion is based on the resemblance between the two. That is the similarity between the two. We are inferring our conclusion based on the resemblances between the two. This is the second characteristics. And you can see that these characteristics are totally different from scientific and unscientific induction. And here again, the third characteristic is that we are just observing the resemblances, and based on those resemblances, that is based on the uniformities only, we are coming to the conclusion. And here also, analogy, in analogy, we are not going to prove the causal connection between the cause and the effect. So these are the characteristics. So from these characteristics, we can come to this conclusion that yes, analogy is a proper induction. Why? Because the main thing which makes an induction proper, it is the inductive leap, and that is why this is a proper induction. But unlike the scientific or unscientific induction, its conclusion is not general, it's particular. That is, from particular to particular, we are passing from particular to particular. And here also there is no attempt to prove the causal connection, and the conclusion is based on mainly resemblances. So again the question arises here that if the causal connection is not attempted, that means the conclusion is probable. So what can be the value of analogy then? There is no attempt to prove the causal connection. Even there is no, we are not passing from particular to general. So what is the value of analogy then? The value of analogy is that we can say in this way: the greater the number of the resemblances, the higher is the possibility of the certainty of the conclusion. Higher is the possibility of the certainty of the conclusion. The greater the number of the important points of similarity, not only similarity. The first point I have said that the greater the number of the resemblances. Second point I am saying that the greater the number of the important points of similarities, because similarities, suppose let us take another example. Suppose I have taken one example of two girls, suppose, and I don't know the second girl, about the second girl, where she studies. Okay, now if I find out the resemblances between the two, I have to find the similarities and at the same time the important point of similarities, because there may be many similarities between the two girls. But to find out where does the second girl studies, where means in which college or in which school she studies, I have to find out the similarities between the two about this that is relating to the points of study. Suppose I can find out that both reads the same book, both reads the same syllabus, both gives exams from the same center. In this way I can find out the similarities between the two. But there are lots of similarities. Maybe that both have long hair, maybe that both wear silver kamises, but these similarities are not important similarities to get into the conclusion. So I have to observe the points of similarities, but that point of similarities must be important point of similarities. So the greater the number of important point of similarities, the greater becomes the possibility of certainty of the conclusion. Or we can say in other words, the greater the number of the known points, the greater the number of the known points between the two, then our conclusion will be less certain, or it can be more probable. Or I can say in an opposite way, the less the number of unknown points, the less the number of unimportant points, the less the number of dissimilarities, the higher will be the probability of the conclusion. Or in another way I can say, the higher the number of unknown points, the higher the number of dissimilarities, the probability of the conclusion will be less. So this is the value of induction. Now, basing on the highest number of important points of similarities and less points of similarities. Analogy has been classified into two. One is called good analogy and the second one is called bad analogy. Now, what is good analogy? Good analogy is that is the analogical argument which is based on important points of similarities, more important points of similarities and less important points of unknown similarities or less important points of dissimilarities. It is called good analogy. And just in the opposite way, I can say that the analogical argument whose conclusion is not based on important points or whose conclusion is based on less important points is called bad analogy. Let us take two examples for good analogy, one for good analogy and another for bad analogy. Now, I can take the example of, suppose I am taking example of two things, that is one is man and another is a dog. Okay. Now, I know that man has liver. Man has liver, and whether dog has liver or not, how to find it out? So I can observe the important points of similarities between dog and man. Suppose man possesses heart, dog possesses heart. Man possesses lungs, dog possesses lungs. In this way, stomach, blood veins. So, as this much of similar physical organs are there between man and dog. So, if man has liver, then there must be liver in dog also. This is a kind of good analogy because here my similar points, my observation of similar points are important and more, and that's why my conclusion is highly probable. But in case of bad analogy, let us take one example between man and plant. Suppose I can see the similar points between the two. Suppose man gives birth, the plant also gives birth. Man grows, plant also grows. Man has decay, plant also has decay. So these are the points of similarity between man and plant. Now, if I say just based on these similar points that man can give birth, man has growth, man has decay, and plants also gives birth, plants also grow, plants also decay. So, if man has the power of thinking, then plant also have the power of thinking. This will be a kind of bad analogy. Why? Because thinking is a mental process, but I have not found any similarity of brain between the two. I have not observed any point of similarity of brain or mental operation between the two. So, just based on these similarities, birth and decay and growing, I cannot say if man can think, plant also can think. So, if I say, then it will be an analogy, but it will be a bad analogy because here the conclusion is less probable. The certainty of the conclusion is less. And in analogy, as we are not trying to prove any causal connection, so I cannot prove it to be, I cannot call it to be certain because the causal connection is also not proved here. So this kind of analogy is called bad analogy. So in my next video, I will discuss about the difference between the good and bad analogy and the similarities and dissimilarities between analogy and scientific and unscientific reduction. So that's all for today. Thank you.